Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Former Manchester United star hits out at Ten Hag for the way he handled Maguire. Former Manchester United star Dwight Yorke has criticized manager Erik Tanhaag for the way he handled Harry Maguire's potential exit during the summer. The Dutch boss was willing to let the experienced defender leave in the previous transfer window after removing him as team captain. But despite interest from West Ham United, the 30-year-old decided to stay at United and fight for his place, and that has proved to be a good move for Maguire, as he has seen a huge revival in his fortunes at Old Trafford. The England international is now Ten Hag's preferred option in central defence ahead of Rafael Varane. Yorke praised Maguire for his courage and resilience, but criticized the United boss for the way he handled the player during the summer. He told the Daily Mail, "Listen, I'm happy for the kid. If I was in Ten Hag's position, I would have dealt with it differently. In hindsight, it's easy for me to sit on the outside and say certain things, but yeah, it's good for him to come back and do what he's done. It takes a lot of courage. I think when people are calling for your head and you are getting out of the club, it's hard to turn that around." Even though he seems to have had the last couple of weeks go for him, I still think we are in for a very difficult time, whether Harry Maguire is there or not. Maguire deserves appreciation for transforming his fortunes at United. The last two seasons saw him receive plenty of criticism from fans whenever something went wrong. He was stripped of the captaincy and made a fifth choice centre back, with Ten Hag preferring left back Luke Shaw over him. Maguire was expected to leave the club in the summer, but he made the bold decision to stay. He has now been vindicated over his decision, as he has transformed his status. The England international has started the last 5 matches in the Premier League, averaging 3.1 clearances, 1.1 blocks, and 6.1 long balls per game. His impressive performance have even forced Ten Hag to bench Varane, which looked unlikely at the start of the campaign. Man United resigned to losing Andre Onana to AFCON in January-February. Manchester United are resigned to losing goalkeeper Andre Onana to Cameroon for the African Cup of Nations duty between January and February, according to ESPN. The 27-year-old joined the Red Devils from Inter Milan during last summer's transfer window, and he has played every minute of the club's campaign across all competitions. Manager Erik Tanhaag has refused to rotate his shot stopper thus far, but he could be forced to do so in the new year due to Onana's national team commitments. The former Ajax man has yet to make a decision whether he will play if he is called up for the AFCON. Meanwhile, summer signing Altay Bayındır has impressed in training. The Turkish star could make his debut for the club during Onana's absence in early 2024. The Cameroon star retired from international duty after the World Cup in Qatar last year, following a rift with head coach Song during the group stage. However, he accepted to make his comeback in September and played the entire 90 minutes of a must-win AFCON qualifier against Burundi in Garoua. Onana has since played another 90 minutes in a friendly against Senegal, and he is most likely to accept a call-up from his national team. In that case, Onana could miss 4 Premier League games if Cameroon make the final on February 11. He could also miss the FA Cup third-round tie on January 5, 6 or 7 to join the preparation camp. If United were to progress in the FA Cup, he could be absent for the 4th round in late January. There is an outside chance that he could also miss a European tie in mid-February due to the exertions involved and the lack of training with the first team squad. United need to be well prepared for the situation. Bayonder is a top-class shot stopper and should have the chance to showcase his talents in the Red Devils shirt. Manchester United will consider cashing in on Casemiro as Saudi Pro League clubs eye Brazilian. Manchester United will consider cashing in on Brazil midfielder Casemiro in the upcoming transfer windows, according to TalkSport. Saudi Pro League clubs are eyeing a big money move for the former Real Madrid star, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is open to selling the 31-year-old. The British billionaire is set to become the minority owner of Man United after agreeing to buy 25% of the club from the Glazers. Ratcliffe wants to oversee a major squad rebuild at the Old Trafford club and will sanction the sale of Casemiro to help fund one. The Brazilian joined Man United from Madrid for around £60 million last summer, and while he was a key player last term, his influence in the middle of the park has diminished. Ratcliffe reportedly questioned the Red Devils' recent transfer policy during his visit to the club in March, citing the acquisition of Casemiro as an example of what he views as questionable recruitment. The Nice owner will be in control of football operations at Man United after his partial takeover is announced later this month, and it appears that the days of the Brazilian at Old Trafford are numbered. Ratcliffe will have a huge say on transfers going forward, and manager Erik Tanhaag could be forced to sell Casemiro in January or next summer. Saudi clubs will gladly offer a juicy deal to Man United and the player, and everyone could end up agreeing to do business if the numbers involved are convincing and tempting. He has featured in 12 games across all competitions for the Red Devils this term and is currently unavailable due to an injury. Man United lost 7 of those games but have won 4 of the 6 matches he has missed. They are doing better without him, and cashing in on him is unlikely to hurt, as a long-term replacement and an upgrade can always be signed for the right fee. Man United want Juventus to contribute 70% of Jadon Sanchos' wages for loan deal. Manchester United want Juventus to contribute 70% of Jadon Sancho's wages to sign him on loan in January, according to Calciomercato. The England international is currently suspended by the Red Devils following his public outburst towards manager Erik Tanhaag. The club have made the decision to offload him in January, and Juventus are reportedly keen on signing him on a temporary deal. Calciomercato now revealed that United are prepared to sanction a loan exit provided Juventus cover 70% of his salary. Sancho is currently one of the highest earners at United with annual wages of 20 million euros. Juventus will need to cover 7 million euros over 6 months. While a deal is difficult, it's not impossible for them, as per Calciomercato. Sancho criticized Ten Hag for lying earlier this season after the Dutchman dropped him for the Arsenal game due to his poor attitude in training. The 85 million euro signing deleted his statement on social media after the first international break, but he has refused to apologize to the manager. As a result, he has no way back into the first team squad, and the decision has been made to offload him when the transfer window reopens. A permanent departure seems unlikely with his lack of game time over recent months. It could be a loan deal until the end of the campaign. Juventus are capable of meeting his weekly salary in the short term, but the big question is whether they can afford him on a long-term deal. With Italy scrapping the Italian growth decree, Serie A clubs can no longer benefit from 50% tax savings on net wages of foreign players joining the league for the first time. If the Bianconeri want to sign Sancho on a permanent deal in the future, he may need to accept a huge pay cut. United may also have to compensate him with a sizable payoff. Man United midfielder must leave in January if he is ignored after Eriksen's injury blow. Manchester United midfielder Donny van de Beek must leave the club in January if he continues to be ignored by manager Erik Tanhaag after Christian Eriksen's injury. The Dane suffered a knee problem in the recent 1-0 Premier League win over Luton Town, and the club have confirmed that he will be out of action for a month. Alongside him, Casemiro is also on the sidelines with a hamstring issue. Ten Hag has already revealed that he won't return to competitive action before Christmas. Injuries for the duo could directly benefit Mason Mount and Sofiane Mrabat. The former will be aiming to get regular starts, having had a difficult start at United. The England international was a regular starter at the beginning of the season before his hamstring injury. He has since made cameo appearances, but should now get his chance. Meanwhile, United have a forgotten midfielder in the squad in Donny van de Beek, who has not even made the matchday squad in the last 6 games for the club. The Dutchman was linked with a move away from Old Trafford last summer after returning from a knee injury. There were no strong proposals for him to consider. The decision to stay has not proved worthwhile with just 21 minutes thus far. In our view, he should pack his bags and leave in January if he continues to be ignored. Eriksen's injury has opened up a spot in the matchday squad for Van de Beek. Being a creative central midfielder, he will be hoping for some minutes after the break. If that is not the case, it looks illogical for him to continue with the club knowing that he has no future. A loan exit with a buy clause could be United's best solution to offload him this winter. Manchester United discussing signing Nice defender Jean-Claire Todibo in January. Manchester United are set to renew their interest in signing Nice defender Jean-Claire Todibo in January, according to The Sun. The Red Devils were keen on the 23-year-old in the summer, but he wanted to remain in the League One club to boost his chances of establishing himself as a France international. Man United are still looking for options in the position despite their failure to sell Harry Maguire this summer, with a long-term injury to Lisandro Martinez forcing manager Erik Tanhaag into the market. The Dutchman remains interested in recruiting Todibo, who was dubbed a very talented player by his former teammate Aaron Ramsey. He has emerged as one of the best defenders in the League One over the last 2 seasons, and the imminent arrival of Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the Old Trafford club could give him an advantage. The British billionaire also owns Nice, which could help make a deal more straightforward. However, Man United need to push for a permanent deal, as Premier League clubs want loans between clubs belonging to the same ownership group banned ahead of the January window. They also have to convince Todibo that he will feature regularly, as he opted against a move last summer because he wanted to continue playing regularly at Nice. He has missed just one of 12 league games this term, and is one of the reasons the club are just a point behind Paris Saint-Germain in the table right now. Todibo knows he needs to keep on playing regularly to make France's 2024 European Championship squad, and that could prove tricky if he moves to Man United in January, as he will be battling Maguire and Rafael Varane for a spot at right centre-back. The Red Devils may need to wait until summer to have a chance of getting their man, but a winter deal could still be on the cards if Varane becomes frustrated with falling behind Maguire in the pecking order and seeks an exit. Victor Osimhen reveals he has a Man United jersey amid speculation over his future. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has revealed that he has a jersey of Manchester United amid speculation over his future at the Serie A champions. The Nigerian star was in sensational form for Napoli during the 22-23 campaign. He netted 31 goals and provided 5 assists from 39 appearances. He has continued with the good form this term with 6 goals and 1 assist from 10 games. The striker is currently out of action with a hamstring injury. Osimhen's current deal with Napoli expires in the summer of 2025, and as things stand, he has given no indication of prolonging his stay at the club. Amidst this, he has talked up the prospect of moving to England by admitting that the Premier League is the most appreciated league by every African player. The former Lille man also said that he does not have a favorite Premier League club, but he has jerseys of Chelsea and United. His friends support both clubs. He said on the Obi-Wan podcast run by John Obi Mikel, I don't have a favorite Premier League team, but I have two jerseys, Chelsea and Man United. Many friends of mine are Chelsea fans, few are Man United fans. The Premier League is the most appreciated league by every African player. It's a huge league. The Red Devils made a huge outlay on Danish sensation Rasmus Højlund last summer. The 20-year-old has yet to score in the Premier League, but has excelled in Europe. Højlund has netted 5 goals from 4 group stage games. He has a huge potential in him and has the hallmarks to become a world-class striker in the long term. United manager Erik Tanhaag generally prefers to play a lone striker up front. The Dutchman has hardly changed his setup since his appointment last season. Hence, we don't see United investing a 9-figure sum on Osimhen next summer unless Højlund's league woes continue for the whole season, which is unlikely. Højlund has been getting into some terrific positions in the box, but has been let down by his finishing. It may not be long before he starts converting chances into goal. In our view, Chelsea are front runners to sign him. At the current point of time, United would not want to hamper the development of Højlund with Osimhen's signing. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.